13 ways to get listings from Glover was really good last month. Anytime he's in town, I highly suggest, even Diana will probably say, and I believe Diane Wessel, you were there, and a few others. It's always good to hear because Jeff is he's a very boots on the ground agent. So everything he talks about, he actually does. So that's why I love going to it. And unfortunately, since we only have 30 minutes, we can't get through all 13, but we hit the bullet point ones. And if you actually want all 13, I'll get it sent out to anyone. Just put it in the chat or send me a text and I'll get it to you. But I'll start off with one. It's one of the biggest ones was create contact that communicates your value to consumers looking to sell. Our biggest thing we're realizing with NAR and everything is we need to make sure we show our value. So if we're not showing our value, how our seller is going to trust working with us and buyers going to work with us. So we got to always have a plan of action with sellers and encourage our sellers to offer concessions to buyers now. Also, learn to brand yourself. Learn to brand that you are the agent for everything and anything. If you just show that you're a buyer's agent and you want to get more listings, you got to show how you're going to be a listing agent. And then also with creating good content, you got to learn how to price properly. You got to learn how to be simple but better. You got to just say, like, this is what it is, especially when you're creating content. Just give facts and make sure everything just looks correct. And then biggest thing he said, make sure you have your testimonials and reviews being constantly updated and people are leaving them. Diane, you want to take the next one?
Oh, I wasn't sure if you were done at that.
Yes.
That. Another thing that he really was thorough about was mastering his copywriting formula for your posts going forward. It's actually pretty simple. You know, when you do it, you always want to start with a hook, something that draws the potential client in, and then following that, you want to introduce yourself after you do the hook, and then follow it by supporting it. You know, if you want to tell them that you are the best in investment real estate, maybe follow it up with an example or testimonial from a client, and then do a call to action. Like schedule it, like just having the consultations and scheduling them for those conversations. And then just following up with what to do next. What do you think, Sarah? Anything to add to that?
So I love how he says, like, make sure you always introduce yourself in videos. I'm starting to do that more. I always say, like, whatever my hook is, I say, your realtor, Sarah Medrick. Always say realtor first, so that way keywords hit people. And then he wants less words on posts and have it be more natural. No more Canva. He says it needs to be an actual raw photo. Don't have something so doctored up. If you're doing a video, just do your first take. And if you mess up through it, people like see your rawness. He had us all record ourselves doing a chant. It was kind of embarrassing looking back because you see how much you like bubble through words. And then I like what he said. I don't know if you had this, Diana, is to get a good video. He says, write it, chant it, and then role play it. And then you record yourself.
Yeah.
So that way you know what you're talking about right away.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody's great in front of the video, so it's going to take you a few times. So he harps on also when you take pictures to do it in selfie mode, so it's also more natural than having someone take a picture for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then this kind of plays into one I talked about. It's just owning your market on social media. You want to make sure you are the realtor that everyone on your social media turns to. I know a lot of us are on each other's social medias. We all friend each other, but do something that makes you stand out from everyone else. I love that he gave a Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Saturday action for scheduling showings. Monday, you tell a story from the weekend. Tuesday is community-based posts. So if you're part of a foundation or something in your community is going on, you post about it. Wednesday is market related. Thursday is something personal. If you're doing dinner, trying a new restaurant, something with the family, something with the kids, anything going on in your personal life, post about it. Friday is like something just sold, a new listing, an open house for the weekend. Saturday is a footage from the field, so like inspection, if you're showing a bunch of houses, just put up a sold sign, anything that has to do with real estate. And then Sunday is your day off. It is where you're grabbing footage or anything you need to fill in for the week. So I think that's really good. So I've been trying to do more of that. I know I've missed some days, but like I'm definitely realizing I'm getting more traction from people on social media with how I'm posting. I'm not posting all my solds that just happen right away. I kind of like filter them and stagger them out. Got anything for that, Diana?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't all have to be business. He mentioned, on some of these days, like on Thursday, you should post something personal, dinner time with family, stuff that's relatable to your clients' experiences. People, like Sarah said, people don't always want to see what you're doing in your business. They want to see what's going on in your personal life and how you're juggling doing the two.
I think
So
it works well. So if you watch his top agents, I highly suggest you follow him on social medias, and his top agents, they all follow this model.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I from experience, like, I tend to get more action through my social media when I'm posting. Like, so last week Mike and I went to every Guardians game, and my views were so high, but then 3 days later I'm posting that we sold 3 houses. Nobody cares. They want to see why you went to 6 Guardians games in a row. How did you do that? So
And I noticed like when I post, I'm with my nephews or same thing if I'm at a Guardians game or something that's not real estate related, I get more engagement and I'm getting more people to ask me questions about real estate because they're not seeing so much real estate from me. Show that you're a human being, show that you just don't eat, live, and breathe real estate. You have a life. I like this one because I like doing open houses. Diana, I don't know if you do open houses a lot, but he has a new open house strategy, which I think is great. If you're gonna do on the Thursday or Friday before the first weekend of open house, he will do a neighborhood only party. So I like that. It's like a happy hour. You invite all the neighbors to this. It's like just to give them a view, just to meet them, just to show. And instead of doing that, 45 minutes before open house, you get the neighbors all together so that way they can meet you, they can see what you like, and then you just ask them like, you put real estate in there very finely, like, hey, if you need any help with anything, like, I'm here to help you. How can I help you? I like that. I thought that was really good. And then he does open houses for about 3 hours, which I thought was shocking. I think because here we do open houses maybe an hour, hour and a half. I don't know anyone that's doing a 3 hour open house currently. I don't know, Diane, do you do 3 hour open houses?
oh, absolutely not. But there are agents who do them, especially on investment properties when there's only a window of time you can get people in. I've been to them. And it's smart. So, did you mention the how he goes from house to house and personally invites the neighbors by saying that the owner asked them to come to the open house?
No, I didn't bring that up. He gives a nice script on that one.
Yeah, he just says, hey, homeowner, Mr. or Mrs. Smith have asked me to invite you to their open house. And then he also mentioned that they've been doing neighbor only happy hours.
Mm-hmm.
So before the open house or like the day before, which is smart.
And like you said, you bring mocktails, cocktails, and appetizers for that neighbor one. And that's where they're getting a lot of their repeat business. Which I thought was an interesting way of doing it. I know there's some agents in the K1 network that do like lemonade stands during the summer, or they do something where they're never really in the house during the summer, but they're like doing lemonade stand, or they have like popsicle days or something. So it just gets the engagement from the neighborhood and anyone coming in. So just be creative as you can. I mean, that's all this is calling for. Anything from you, Diana, on that?
No, I mean, I I don't do them anymore. So I have my team members do them, but I did do a few these past few weeks. So it's just been so crazy. There hasn't been much you've really had to do to get people to open houses. So, but I like his strategies. I mean, what way to make people feel important by name dropping them, you know?
Correct. And then, want to take the next one?
Yeah, hold on, I'm pulling it up. I was only prepared to do the open house one and then like NAR. So
Oh, I could do the next one if you want.
yeah, go ahead.
So he is very big with all the changes. Make sure your buyer and seller presentations are up to date. That is something that is so needed right now because we got to show our value. I see there's a question. We'll get to all questions at the end, so that way we just don't lose focus. Because I'll definitely get scroll brain and forget where I'm at. But like show all value added, knowing days out shopping for buyers, list price to net sales price ratio, and track all numbers. The more knowledge you have, especially like market share and everything, will show that your buyers you're an actually engaging full-time agent. And I thought this was an interesting one. I got to still figure this one out. He wants you to figure out offers written to offers accepted. Because if you could tell buyers that like I'm only writing 4 or 5 house like offers for someone to get under contract, that's great. Because typically right now, I think most people are writing around 10 to 15. So it's just all again going back to the buyer presentation and showing your value and your expectations up front. Same goes with the seller presentation. You know, so you need to typically up your appointments met and signed by both sellers to see where your conversion rate is. He is super big on knowing your numbers and your conversion rate. So that way you get be that person of interest, that person that every client goes back to. And that also goes involved with his other one of update your database value. What are you doing for your database so that way you're capturing 8% of it? That's the typical rule is you're going to capture 8% of your database. If you keep nurturing it, touching it, reaching out, videos, texts, mailers, events, what are you doing to get that 8%?
Another topic that I really liked there was his how to increase appointments met.
Mm-hmm.
And then touching the buyer or seller 6 times prior to the appointment. I'll be honest, I don't reach out that many times before appointments, and it makes sense. He wants you to text after setting the appointment. Most of us do call right away after to make sure that they're pre-qualified and get a pre-approval. I mean, nobody's going to want to show a house without a pre-approval. And then he says this one's brilliant. I've never done it. Email, video message, letting them know what's to expect at the appointment. It's smart because if you've never actually met them, it helps them, it lets them know what you look like, so who to expect, and it's not like just meeting a complete stranger. And then he sent out a physical pre-appointment package. I don't know how many of you do that. I don't, but
I don't. I gotta get better
yeah.
at that.
Yeah. So, and then the text the morning of appointment, a lot of us, just to make sure that they're not canceling on you at the last minute. And then he calls again an hour before. That seems like a lot, but it shows that you're committed to this appointment that you're about to have with them. So, how many times do you think you reach out before your first appointment?
Maybe once or twice, just like once to confirm. Well, definitely know in the morning and night before I confirm. I don't send a physical pre-appointment package, which I'm starting to build. But I do afterwards. Typically, I'll send them like a thank you card, or I'll do an edible arrangement. I'll do something afterwards, just that way I stay top of mind. But I don't do the 6 before. When he told me that, I think all of us in the room kind of chuckles because none of us do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems excessive, but I get it. I mean, it will keep you top of mind.
And it shows that person that you actually want to work for them. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna get this and then do the bare minimum, sell the house, make a commission. So if you're eager now, you'll be eager trying to get their house sold and gain them to closing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And probably the biggest thing he talked about was these NAR dialogues. I mean, he just says, as I'm sure you're gonna say, write them. He says write them once or twice a day, chant them once or twice a day, role play and record yourself. He's very big. You got to know how to handle all objections.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no way to teach that. You've just got to come up with your own comfort level with how to have these conversations with your clients. So did he actually give us like a script of what he?
So I have the whole packet that if Brian or if Holly's on that wants to take note of everyone that's on, I can send you the whole dialogues that he has emailed out, and I have a physical copy. But definitely I like the one about, what am I going to do when a change happens? How do I make sure that I'm offering a fair amount? And what happens if I don't want to pay? So he has some really good ones in there that are they're very good about handling objections. We'll send out them. I'll send them out to everyone on here. I have them in PDF form to send out. So I think they're really good. My group and coaching, I've been pushing this for them to read them, understand them, find ones that they like, and just go from there. There's I think 12 or 14 of them, so it's really good. Anyone have questions? I'll send out to all 13, because some of them, they all kind of fill in with each other. These are just the big topic ones that really fall in line with everyone.
I think someone had a question about social media.
Yes. What's the question on social media?
So my question was, I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys mentioned this, but when you're doing the sticking to a calendar or specific things on your social media every day, now is that specific to your business page, or do you guys do it on your personal as well, or do you suggest one over the other?
So I don't even use my business page. Jeff will tell you that you should do everything on your personal page because you're not getting more traction by sharing stuff from one page to the other.
I do everything on my personal. I'm the same way. I very rarely use my business page. Half time I consider getting rid of it because I don't even have reviews go on there. My reviews go to Google, Zillow, and Realtor.com. I I'm more active on my personal page, like when I do stories or something, or if I see anything. So to me, I would do more personal because then people can see how you really are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
No?
Would anyone like a copy of all 13 ways? I could get that sent out probably by tomorrow.
Can you send
And
it to me in case any of our agents ask?
yes, I will,
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah.
of course. And I'll probably fill in with some of the people that went from my office in case I've got anything, because I'm sure I missed some stuff.
We went through pretty much most of his stuff. I mean, there was a few things that we skipped over that is just pretty basic, but like scripting and stuff like that. But
Everyone has a role play partner, correct? Like everyone knows, like that at least chant with someone, send someone a video of doing, chanting a script to make sure how it sounds with the conversation, no longer script. But everyone has a role play, correct? And if you don't have a role play partner, reach out to someone at your office or anyone at Elevate can reach out to me and I'll help you find one, because it's very important to have role play partners. I have 3 or 4. So every week I chant with them. I talk with them for like 5-10 minutes.
yeah, I mean, scripting sounds like it's terrible, but once you get it down with somebody that you're comfortable with, it helps you a lot. So I definitely suggest doing it.
Anything else? Brian, do you have any questions or anything?
No, I do not.
Okay. Well, if we're done, then we ended a little early and you guys could have a great day.